Happy Arvo. How you doing? Welcome to This Week in Australia. We're all the way from up here in Indiana. I'm going down under to see what happened in Australia this week, utilizing the internet. Specifically, the top post this week on r/Australia. Mushroom trial. Guilty on all counts. Oh my god! This is breaking news. The mushroom trial. The mushroom trial has concluded. The mushrooms are guilty on all counts. I don't know what this means. Oh, it's a murder trial. Well, shit. I feel kind of bad about making light of it now. Jury finds Australian woman deliberately killed lunch guests with poisoned beef Wellington. What the fuck? That's really disturbing. I'm now officially like fully invested in this. I guess I'm going to react to this little 2-minute video by CNN because that's unbelievable. First of all, to actually successfully kill people by poisoning them, it's kind of rare. You know, usually you can taste the poison, but then to have the nerve to do it to 3 people, and what, you thought you'd get away with it? Because usually I feel like people who murder people by poisoning them, they're kind of like, oh, they just got sick. Like, I don't know, it's a mysterious sickness and they died. You can't just say, oh, all 3 of my dinner guests got sick and died after I fed them this beef Wellington. It's just a coincidence, guys.
Australian mother of 2, Erin Patterson, killed her estranged husband's parents and his aunt and hospitalized his uncle, all with a meal of beef Wellington containing toxic death cap mushrooms. And now, after a 10-week trial that captivated Australia and the world, a jury has decided...
How toxic are these mushrooms that they're able to kill people? This is unreal.
She poisoned them on purpose. In July 2023,
no shit.
Patterson hosted 4 people for lunch at her home in the Australian town of Leongatha. Dawn and Gail Patterson, her former in-laws, died in the days after. Gail's sister Heather Wilkinson also died. Heather's husband...
It took days for the poison to kill them.
Ian Wilkinson spent weeks in a hospital fighting the poison and survived. Patterson's estranged husband, Simon, had turned down the invitation. Erin Patterson took herself to the...
He had a bad feeling about it, huh?
Hospital after the meal, but
it's like, why do you want to cook us lunch? You never cooked me lunch a day in my life, you crazy B-word.
Was never as sick as the others. In court, she said it was because she didn't eat much of the lunch and threw up afterwards because she binged on dessert. Lunch that day was individually portioned beef Wellingtons, steak and mushroom pate.
There's no way that she thought that defense would work.
Wrapped in pastry. Patterson says she flavored the food with...
Bitch, you don't just accidentally use horribly toxic mushrooms in your beef Wellington. That's not an accident.
With dried mushrooms, which she thought had come from a grocer, but might have collected and dehydrated herself as part of her hobby of picking wild mushrooms. The dehydrator machine was later found in a dumpster, with Patterson's fingerprints and traces of the death caps inside. Patterson admitted
this whole thing is shocking, including the fact that it even took 6 days to deliberate. I mean, I'm all for, making sure someone's guilty. You really got to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. Actually, I don't know what the standard is in Australia. I assume it's something like that. So I respect that, but also, this is so obvious.
She had disposed of it in a panic and lied to police about ever owning it. The court heard evidence that in the months before the meal, Patterson may have been in a location where death caps grow. The defense argued the poisoned meal was a terrible accident and that Patterson had no motive to kill the victims on purpose. Ultimately, prosecutors were able to convince the jury with their argument that Patterson purposely hunted for death caps and then cooked them with the intention to kill her children's only grandparents and her ex-husband's aunt and uncle.
Holy shit. That is a crazy one, guys. That is a crazy one. What do they mean she didn't have a motive? It's literally her ex-husband's, her ex-in-laws. Okay, so it is beyond a reasonable doubt. Talk about a sliding doors moment. Either life in prison or $1 million book deal. I've never heard that, a sliding doors moment. I think that's a fair judgment based on the evidence I've read about. She couldn't keep her story straight. Yeah, I mean, I've only heard 2 minutes about it, and it's like, I don't know, maybe I should look into more on the defense side, but it seems blatantly obvious to me. But of course, you never want to send an innocent person to jail, so you gotta be really careful. But really, she threw out the dehydrator. She accidentally put poisonous mushrooms in her beef Wellington and then happened to not eat almost any of it, but fed it to her ex-husband's parents. Then she lied and changed her story. No. What was the charge? Serving a meal? A succulent Wellington meal? Someone had to make the joke. I get it. Someone had to do it. Male child care workers say they feel judged in wake of latest abuse case. Right, referencing... I don't even want to get into it, but last week, I saw what happened. Anyway, it is interesting because... obviously, I'm against sexism and everything like that. But when it comes to childcare, I will say I am sexist. Like, if it's a guy running, like, the daycare, I would be, I don't know. I guess I would just have to know him. Obviously, to be honest, women, just like that mushroom lady up there, women can be psychotic and crazy as well. But there's something just about, like, leaving your kid alone with a man or a woman. I don't know. I'm being really sexist against men, but it is what it is. I mean, when it comes to your own kids, you know, you don't really play around with that stuff. Like, oh, I don't want to be offensive. But that is unfortunate. Because obviously, I'm sure this guy, you know, this is the guy that says he feels isolated at work. He feels judged. I mean, he looks like a good guy. I don't know. I'm sure. Obviously, most male childcare workers are perfectly great people. So it's an unfortunate thing. I'm just admitting that I kind of partake in that. I still can't believe my father-in-law, never got the credit he deserved for this amazing koala photo. Is your father-in-law a koala? Is that him? It's a very good photo of him. No, this is a really great photo. I didn't know koalas went to the beach. Very beautiful lighting, you know, the golden hour really shines on this beautiful koala's fur, makes them glow. It's very pretty. To be honest, I'm not sure what credit you're referring to. Like, was this used on a magazine cover? Who did get the credit? Looks like it's you. Yeah, you're the one that took your father-in-law's credit with this post. What credit were you expecting? Obviously, he should be a household name. Okay, these are not what I expected the comments to be. It's kind of funny because, like, this was upvoted because it's a great picture of a koala. And it's like, yeah, let's give this guy some credit. But then it's also like what credit? I don't know. What credit? You know what? Credit to Clint Wagstaff Photography. It's a great picture. 30 years ago today, Cheese TV made its debut. And the world has never been the same. I guess I'm writing that down. Cheese TV. I'll react to that next week, probably. German backpacker Carolina Wilga found alive after major search in West Australia's outback. Missing for more than a week. She's been ravaged by mosquitoes and other unnamed trauma. Damn, what a legend. I mean, you got to be prepared, right, when you go out into the outback. Holy shit, I would never go out there alone, to be honest. Not without, like, 3 satellite phones and 17 backup batteries. I sound like a boomer, but isn't it kind of neat that in today's day and age, and I realize it's been this way for, like, 30 years now, you know, since cell phones became a popular thing, maybe 20 years. but that her family all the way over there in Germany was like, yo, our daughter's missing in the outback. Like, we haven't heard from her in Australia. I don't know. I don't know what my point is. Not a good day for zoos. 5 days ago. Woman bitten by a big cat. Oh, God. How does that happen? I mean, I guess maybe she worked there. I don't know how else you would get bitten by a big cat at a zoo. Cyclist dies after being hit by bus at a popular zoo? How was he bicycling through the zoo? Oh, that's sad. Dog owners must spend 3 hours minimum with their pet daily under ACT's proposed animal welfare law. I have no idea what to think about. I mean, I'm all for, like, you know, I'm against animal cruelty and stuff, and dogs are awesome. But how are you going to tell people, oh, you have to spend 3 hours with your dog? What does it even mean? Like, I mean, to be frank, most people just don't have 3 hours. Unless it counts to just have the dog walking around the house with you. Does that count? Can you be making dinner and the dog is chilling? Some mandatory training showing that you can control your dog would be great. True. There was actually a 1-year-old girl over here. I think it might have been Indiana. Maybe not. Anyway, she died this week because she was attacked by her own pit bull inside their house. So, I don't, Wild kangaroo harvests are labeled needlessly cruel by U.S. lawmakers, but backed by Australian conservationists. I mean, I don't know what my opinion is because I don't even really understand what that means, but it's kind of like maybe we should mind our own business. I don't know what the U.S. has to do with this. This is what they're doing in the U.S. Senate. The mass killing of millions of kangaroos to make commercial products is needless and inhumane. What the hell does... How do we have any, like, say about this over here in America? Why do we even think we do? Oh, they want to ban the sale of it in the United States? Like, okay. Like, can you please find something better to do? There's really important stuff happening here in America that we should focus on. I literally don't know anybody with any kind of kangaroo memorabilia. Or, like, you know, no one's got a kangaroo skull hanging on their wall or around their neck. I don't know what this is talking about. It's not a big problem here in America, so. With that said, I do love kangaroos. So the Australian conservationists are saying this has allowed animal activists to spread false information that kangaroos are being killed solely for cleats. Soccer cleats. Interesting. It's important to note that without a commercial industry, conservation culling is still needed to occur to manage the populations. So it's a question of, should they kill them and do nothing with their bodies, or kill them and try to make use of them? Australia is quietly introducing unprecedented age checks for search engines like Google. Well, this is Orwellian. Definitely creepy, no matter what you think about it. Search engines are in line for the same age assurance technology behind the teen social media ban. The age check will apply to login users in a bid to limit children's access to pee. Creepy. I mean, if you could do this in some kind of decentralized way where you knew your data wasn't being harvested and sold or spied upon, and verify your age with like a proof without actually having to reveal your identity, that would be something. But having to put your face and send it to Google and shit, it's a little weird to me. Okay. I think I'm done. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.